it would hurt to know if you ever were.
Welcome back to Beyper View. This is episode number 15. Today we have with us Tyler Thompson, a YouTube star and sensation in the four-wheel drive and camping community. How you doing, Tyler?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for being on the podcast today.
No worries.
This is going to be an experience.
Yeah, we got nice
some fun
weather
here.
at least.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's turned it on for us today.
Yeah.
It's going to be good as long as that rain stays away.
Yeah, it looks like it will.
It looks beautiful at the minute, so
Yeah.
it's going to warm up real quick, I think.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. All right. How you doing this morning?
Yeah, good.
Doing good?
Yeah.
Excited to be here?
Still waking up on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, it's like that. I've had one coffee this morning. I've got one waiting in there for when I'm done.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be good.
Yeah. I'm not a coffee drinker. I've never got into coffee. I didn't want to get that addiction
caffeine
and
addiction.
relying on it.
Yep.
So I don't mind the taste of it. I've sort of had one or two here and there, but yeah, my girlfriend drinks all the time. She ends up having, 3 or 4 a day, but she's always got to have it with her when we're camping and stuff.
Yeah,
So I think I don't want to have to worry about that or
Yep.
deal with that.
You had that passion, that life buzz keeping you going.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. All right, let's jump straight into the first question,
Yep.
and then we can keep the ball rolling from there.
Sounds good.
Okay. This is super simple. Who is Tyler Thompson, and what exactly do you do?
So I guess I'm a 4-wheel drive and camping content creator,
Yes.
YouTuber, adventurer. I got into 4-wheel driving maybe 5 years ago now, and I just went onto YouTube to learn places to go, how to do it, things to see, things to do.
Yep.
And from when I was younger, I'd always had an interest in YouTube and making videos.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know, I just thought what other 4-wheel drive YouTubers did was really cool,
Yep.
sort of creating videos from their trips away.
It's not a bad thing, not a bad job to have at least.
Yeah. And I just eventually got myself a little tripod from Officeworks to go put my phone on and sort of started filming videos. And I guess the interest built from there just was a way for me to document our trips and travels, and I just built it up over the years, and now I'm doing it full time, where that's sort of my main job.
Yep.
The main thing being the YouTube channel with the videos, putting out one video a week, some weeks 2.
Yep.
And then just running all the other social media side of things. And
Do you find much difference in doing 2 videos a week? Like the reach that you have is like, there's a very noticeable difference.
Yeah, so the more content you can put out,
The better that
the better
out.
the better it will go. So at the moment I'm sort of doing maybe 6 videos a month.
Yep.
Every second week I'm doing a second video.
Okay.
It'd be ideal to just I'm not always going to be able to do it, especially when we're away on trips.
Yep.
But it'd be ideal to put out 2 videos a week.
Yep.
It's basically doubling like views and
Definitely.
subscriber rates
Yep.
and all those sorts of
Which
different
is
things.
what it's all about.
Yeah.
Trying to get it in front of as many people as possible.
Yeah, well, when I started it, I just did it as a way to share our travels and adventures and save our memories and all that sort of thing, I guess. But then
Something
as
to
you
look back on.
but as you build, and now it's your job, you sort of you're still doing it because you love doing it, but you also want to keep building and keep getting your content out for more to see and
Definitely.
others to enjoy what you do. And
Try and teach people as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. So while you do it because you love doing it, there's always that you're always looking at it from how am I going to
Do this or
do it better or increase like the reach I'm having and all those
Yep.
sorts of things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where can you go? What place or what can you do while you're in a certain place to try and get that next step up in the video? Try and increase the reach and the content that you can make from that.
Yeah, you're always trying to
Yep.
improve what you do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a never-ending learning process.
Doesn't stop.
Yeah.
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 Never bloody stops, does it?
Yeah.
So how is it for you now doing what you do on YouTube? Like you said, like the content creation side of things, how much does that weigh on when you go on a trip? Like, is that something that is like at the forefront, or is it like we're going to go to this destination and then you kind of figure out what you're going to do while you're there, or is it like something that you plan out kind of a
Yeah,
bit
so
more
I don't.
meticulous?
No, I don't do any planning out at all. I
Okay.
don't even plan where we're going.
Okay.
I don't plan anything around the
You
videos.
just pack the rig and you go.
Yeah, I think the most I've ever done is I've wrote down, like before a big trip, I've wrote a little list on my phone of say 15 key points to cover and tick them off as I go.
Yep.
More because I get questions about them, so I write down points like cover tyres and suspension,
Yep.
cover what maps you use,
Yep.
a few different points like that, and then
Mhm.
you can just go through each episode and
As you go and
tick
go
a
along.
couple off.
Yep.
But other than that, it's just make it up as we go. We're really just filming.
As it happens.
Yeah, filming as it happens, and whatever
Yeah, nice.
happens type thing.
And
Then
that's the best way to do it.
the midweek videos, so the ones I do, the videos I do, which are maybe camping gear review,
Yep.
or top 10 mods to your car,
Yep.
or
They're a bit more planned out.
yeah, a bit more. I don't write a script or anything, but I'll more sit down and maybe write down on paper what I'm going to
Yep.
talk about type thing.
Just to get those specific points across.
Yeah, just otherwise you just end up forgetting.
Yeah, that's
Whereas on a trip, it's not really as important. You can just
Yep.
it's more just filming the adventure and what happens.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, well. It's always fun.
yeah,
It doesn't bloody stop, does it?
yeah. Keeps me busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, your, I guess, the whole way that you do it is just, you just going out and you're just having fun.
Yeah,
Camera goes on just to catch those moments.
yeah,
And then you do the breakdown. Obviously, as you're going through the editing, you can focus on some of those points
yeah.
throughout the video as you're doing the editing process as well.
Yeah, because I've done so much of it now, because I've been doing it for 3.5 years or something. You pick up the process, and even though there's not any planning going into it, it's something that I'm constantly thinking about while I'm doing it.
You're still conscious of,
Yeah, so
are you catching that
yeah,
in
so
the best way? Or,
so while there's no like pre-planning or script, so I'm not trying to do anything in particular. As it's all happening,
there is still a thought process behind it.
From when you wake up in the morning, you're thinking about making sure you get the shots at camp, and do you need drone shots or camp shots or talking
Yep.
shots.
Yep.
So it's just that constant like thinking as you're going
Yep.
type thing.
Just to bring it all together when you get to that final stage.
Yeah, and you're always thinking about how you're going to create that story
Yep.
and go scene to scene, because it's all happening, but I guess you just need to make sure that you keep explaining.
Yeah,
What
as
is
you're
happening.
as you're going, you're not
Yeah.
just starting in the morning and then the next scene is like the next day,
Yeah.
and you've missed the whole
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
adventure along the way.
Yeah, so it's while you're sort of doing it, like it's one thing to do it, but then it's one thing to articulate that to the audience as well, and
And the
create
reasoning as to why you're doing. what
create
you're
a
doing.
video as you're going.
That's right.
So yeah, just that constant sort of thinking and planning as you're going.
Trying to get that across to people
Yeah.
is the hard part.
Yeah, yeah,
2 people might get it, and then 10 just have no idea what's going on.
yeah,
That's usually what happens.
yeah. Particularly the talking videos, I find you have to be very careful, and a lot of like my partner and I did a talking video the other day, and I edited it one day.
Yep.
And then we spent about 5 hours the next day
Wow, going over it.
going over it,
Yep.
and we took it from about 30 minutes down to 20.
Okay.
And just chopping and changing just to make, because I knew what I wanted to say.
Yep.
But it doesn't always come across
Yep.
exactly how you want it to say.
Yep.
So you sort of have to. I always get, not so much the trip videos. I'm confident that I can just edit them and put them out.
You got them pretty nailed.
But with the
getting them
talking
done.
videos, particularly depending on the topic,
Mhm.
I'll get her to go over it with me in the editing.
Yep.
And do a chop back, and then I might send
just
it.
to make sure it's all.
Yeah, to make sure it makes sense, and because it's
Yep.
always hard when I'm the one who filmed and I'm
And
the
then
one
you're
doing it,
yeah.
so it's hard to sort of step back.
You need like that extra
Yeah.
set of eyes at times to
Yeah, it's
help.
always hard to step back and
Yep.
see it from an outside perspective.
Yep.
And then I know a video I'm putting out this week, which was about the business side of things, like how I turned it from a hobby to a business.
Mhm.
That was the one we spent about 5 hours sort of refining.
Yep.
And then after that, I still sent it to a couple of other people
Yep.
to watch.
Just to get their input,
Just to make sure the message was
getting across
Yeah, it
like
was-
what you want to get across.
Yeah.
You get out there. Yep.
because there's a few topics that can be a little bit dangerous.
Misconstrued at
Yeah,
times. Yeah,
yeah.
taken the wrong way.
Yeah, And you have to.
Well, I find a lot of the time the people that take certain things the wrong way already have their judgment coming in.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you say,
Yeah.
how you explain it.
Yeah.
Their perception is that's just what it's going to be. It doesn't matter what you say, they're going to change it.
Yeah, and people just hear what they want to hear. Like
You're exactly right.
They'll pick up one thing, and then you'll go on to explain
And
that
that's
thing, but they've forgotten.
Yeah, that's
they've
right.
already focused on that,
Yeah.
and they're not hearing anything else you're
Yeah.
saying.
Welcome to social media. It's social media in a nutshell.
Yeah, and
It
so
gets ridiculous at times.
I guess I've started to notice now, the reach I'm having. Like some of the videos are getting, I don't know, some of the videos get maybe 25, 30,000, then others might get 50, 60,000.
Yep. Wow.
So you just got to be mindful of what you say.
Definitely.
And what impact that can have.
It can have on people, that's right.
For example, like, I mentioned about a company a couple of months ago. I wasn't raving about how bad they were or anything, but I just mentioned, like, briefly talking about
Just
how,
your experience.
yeah, like, well, not even, I'd had no experience with them, just saying
Okay.
I'd heard about them when I was talking about a few variations of a product.
Okay.
And then they got in contact with me and said,
Yeah,
oh, we
right.
heard what you said. Like,
Yep.
they weren't into me. They were nice about it.
Yep.
But I was just like, maybe I shouldn't have
But
said
to
that.
have that reach.
Yeah. I was just
Yeah.
like, maybe I shouldn't have said that because I actually have had no personal experience with
Yeah,
it. It's just
okay.
what others had said, and you
Yep.
just forget, like, you just say things in conversation.
Yeah, that's right. And you forget the actual
You forget
reach.
that's then gone to 50, 60,000 people.
Yeah, that's right. But then how many further people does that get passed on to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
People having conversations, oh, did you see this video, or did you hear this? And then it just gets blown.
Yeah. So I'm just, there's that little bit of pressure now, I guess, and a little bit of mindfulness of, what you say. And that's why I sort of get others to check it and things like
Yeah,
that.
definitely. Best way to be, just so you get, as you're saying, you get the actual point across.
Yeah.
And there's no chance for it to be taken the wrong way or someone be misinformed by what you're trying to get across.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the hard part, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the knife edge that you have to deal with.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. I get excited when I get like 1,000 views on one of my videos.
Yeah.
So to have like 50, 60. I think
Yeah.
you got a couple over 100.
Yeah, I think, I got 3 now. So I got that roof rack one's over 100.
Yep.
That one we did, that walkthrough of Kaito's Hilux.
Yep.
And then one of the Suzuki and the Wadigans.
Wow,
I think they're all about 120 each.
that's crazy.
But yeah.
And still climbing, like the
yeah.
daily, or even, or is it 48 hours? I think.
Yeah,
if you're
48
on YouTube,
hours.
that
Yeah, like that roof rack video is
Constant.
still getting, that was put up, I don't know, maybe 6-8 weeks ago now, and that's still getting 2,000 to 3,000 views every 48 hours type thing.
wow. So the reach on that is still crazy.
And because that's been an ongoing issue.
Yep.
So then,
Yeah, that's been with
People
with multiple people. It's a pretty current thing still.
yeah, so then someone else will make a video about it, then everyone will come back to my video again.
Yep. For reference.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But how you going now? You no problems now, hey?
Yeah, the front runner one's good now.
Yeah, that's good.
It's nice and safely, soundly bolted on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the things I've seen revolving around that whole, I'll call it industry,
Yeah.
revolving around that whole industry
Yeah.
has been, so crazy.
And they don't have an off-road rating as well, so you just got your one rating.
Whatever that rating is for that rack, and that's it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you just got a one driving rating.
Yep.
Whereas, say, like Rhino and some other companies,
They had the off-road stuff.
they got an on-road, and then you have to do a further calculation to get your off-road.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, when I started looking into that, I was just like, wow, that's a bit up and down. Like, it's so strange. And then all the issues yourself and a lot of other people had just to find that information.
yeah,
It was a bit, You'd think that would be something they would kind of push to people that are using them for those off-road applications.
yeah, which I don't know. I don't want to make any assumptions of why they're doing it, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let's leave that. I don't want to do that. But my setup anyway is on gutter, so
yeah, the gutter ones are much stronger.
and it's 4 on each side as opposed to most, I think, even patrols and stuff,
Yeah,
only 3. Most of them are 4 though.
yeah,
But I'm 110 kilos and I can stand on there and jump up and down and it doesn't move.
because you've got a a longer roof as well.
Yep.
Compared to say a dual cab ute,
That's
the roofs
right.
are pretty small.
It's like it's half. It's
Yeah.
literally half of what
Yeah.
that footprint is. So moving on to question number 2
Yep.
again, relating this to something as you would kind of refer to as an add-on for like your four-wheel drive suspension lift. You got the canopy, you got the rooftop tent. So what in your like personal development side of things do you have as an add-on? Because I know you've got your partner now helps you a lot. You've invested in some good camera gear.
Yeah.
You've got a good network of people around you. How important are those things to have to help you keep moving forward and progressing on the track that you're on?
Yeah. These are add-ons in regards to the content I'm producing.
Yes.
Yeah, not four-wheel drive add-ons.
Yes.
Yeah, like there's lots of things I've done there over time. As it's all built up, there's lots of things I've added on there that have really helped and are important now.
Yep.
And they're more important the more you grow, I guess, because of that bigger reach and the more people that are judging everything you're doing and stuff like that. So yeah, equipment's obviously an important one. Like a good quality laptop. So I sort of spent quite a few thousand on like a top of the line MacBook Pro.
Yep.
Just so I can edit. And I
Just makes that editing process a lot easier.
editing process a lot easier, a lot faster. If you try and edit on sort of an older or slower computer,
Not a fun time.
Yeah, it's just hopeless. You really need the best you can get.
That's right.
And then camera equipment. Like I started on basic stuff, but then as you grow, the better camera equipment helps. Particularly sound. Sound's an important one.
Definitely.
Trying to get the sound right, and that's still like an ongoing process because the sound, how you need to record sound changes a lot from environment to environment.
Yep.
Or how far you are away from the camera and things like that.
Definitely.
So if you're right near a camera talking,
it's fine.
Yeah, you might have one setting, but then if you're talking to it from a few meters away and you forgot to change the settings,
that's right.
It can
You're not really going to get that audio.
Yeah.
Have you thought about investing in like a
the lav mics or whatever?
Yeah, the lav mics, because I know I have seen recently those Rode mics. They do the wireless ones now and that as well.
Yeah, that'd be alright for the talking videos. I am looking at getting into them. It's not really suitable for a trip video.
No.
You need a shotgun mic that can pick up
Yep.
the cars and
Everything.
Dad talking and Kai talking and me talking.
Not
and
just
the river noise.
Not just on yourself.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I haven't looked into it, but yeah, it is easier when the sounds and videos all being recorded as one.
Yeah.
But it's probably not that hard once you actually get to the editing process to link the sound and video back up.
Yep. In my experience with this it's not too hard, especially once you line up the first video.
Yeah.
Once you start the recording, you've got the sound waves from the video and from the audio.
Yeah.
So as soon as you line those two up, I've had a few instances where I've put a video up on YouTube of the podcast and it's like a badly subtitled movie. It's only like half a second, not even half a second, it's like a couple of milliseconds off, but you can see the sound will start before the mouse starts moving.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's like that video comes down.
Yeah.
That video comes down, re-edit, like it's just not paying attention fully. So
yeah, and I think with my trips, there's even though I'm doing this as full time now, like all the videos I film around here, the talking videos and gear review and camping, forward driving tips, I can really focus on them. But when I'm away filming our adventures, a lot of the focus is still just on the actual adventure.
Yeah, what you're actually doing.
Rather than, like, there's a lot of things I could do to perfect audio and video and photos and all that.
Then you spend more time
it'd just spend
working instead of enjoying.
It'd be too hard. Like you just sort of want quick and on the go.
That's right.
Like you want a camera there that's ready to grab with a microphone on it and boom.
You jump out, set the tripod up.
And you're recording, not trying to set up, multiple
different things,
multiple microphones and cameras and
Yep.
Even with the camera, like I'll just leave it on auto settings all the time. It's
Yep.
just like another thing And because you're so busy doing everything else, the more things you have to remember, the more things you're likely to forget. And
yes.
then instead of, then it's the difference between good and perfect.
Yep.
And you can get perfect, but then you're not enjoying the trip as
Exactly.
much, and you're missing. You end up like screwing up things anyway.
Yep.
Because you're trying to do it perfect, whereas you just get it good all the time.
That's right.
And then trying to
And that consistent good kind of outweighs that one perfect video in the end anyway.
And because you're putting out so much content, like a video or two a week, you can't be too much of a perfectionist, or
otherwise you wouldn't put one out.
Yeah, otherwise
you wouldn't do one at all.
You're not getting content out, and getting content out that's still good.
Yep.
Is it's still like 98% of the way there. It's
that's right.
Just not worth all the time and effort for that extra 2%.
One thing I have learnt though is that I can't judge what's good or not.
Yeah.
Because even besides the podcast, I put up a couple of videos of the van and stuff, and what I think, I'm just like, I'm done. Like, I can't spend any more time on this. It's already been like however many hours. I'm like, I can't waste time trying to make this all look so good, So it's just like, stuff it. I'll just put it up, and it is what it is. And that turns out being like the most viewed one that I've ever had. It's just like, well, how the fuck does that work?
It's always hard to know. I always find the videos I think are just like average and do alright.
Yep.
Do better than one that I thought was going to do really good.
Exactly.
It's so hard to know.
But I find, I'm not sure if you would feel the same way. I find that the more time I put into something, like especially one of the episodes or the editing process, the more invested I get, like kind of personally within that one thing.
Yeah.
So then when I do put it online and then it's not received the way I would like it to be, it's just like, well, that was just, I get a bit hard on myself. It's like, well, that was a waste of time. And then the next one you kind of, I wouldn't say rush, but same scenario. You kind of just put together and you're like, well, it's good. It'll work. You put it out there and then that's the one that takes off.
Yeah. I find that a bit as well. The more sort of time and effort you put into something and trying to make it perfect, then you're more anxious about what people are going to say. Mm-hmm. Compared to just putting it out there and then you're like, oh well, doesn't really matter. Just let
it be what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's hard to let go of the wheel sometimes and just let people turn it into whatever they want it to be.
Yeah, it's a never-ending learning process. Not only just like the filming and the camera gear and the editing, then also the mental side of things as well.
Definitely.
So it's a big thing mentally.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how much you would want to touch on that, but talking about that being mentally, the social media side of things.
Yeah.
How much does that like affect you? Because some like, it's great, the reach you have and all the good things that I do see are great.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I read one comment, I'm thinking, if that was like directed at me, I'm like, I don't know how I'd handle that. But then you can't really like say something back that you normally would because of the reach that you do have.
Yeah.
Like, does that come into it at times?
Yeah, it's not worth engaging with people on the internet.
100% agree with that.
It never really ends well. No, there's not really much of a win from it.
It's not a win for either side at the end of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, like you remember, even though you see a few, you always see comments here and there, but it's still like the 0.001%.
Oh, exactly.
They just like to make themselves
try to make themselves stand out a little bit. Yep.
I find that it doesn't impact me most of the time, but then like sometimes you just have a run of seeing bad things.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you just like,
which is kind of shit in a way, because if there's a lot of likes on a post or likes on a comment, like that seems to be what's highlighted every time you go through it.
Yeah.
So that would be kind of hard.
But then sometimes you'll have a bit of a run of people saying things. I'm just saying things about you, and I never think, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. But you just like, you get a bit frustrated sometimes, a bit like annoyed.
Yep.
You think like, why are people saying those things?
Yeah, that's right.
And I've noticed that.
He's like, I don't even know this guy. Like, how can they say something like that?
And I've noticed that probably the last couple of months, as my audience and reach has grown, and I've gone to it more full time, people want to go out of the way. those people, like that small percentage, want to make their voice a little bit louder. Like they want
yeah.
to go out of their way a bit more to
Yep.
personally attack you.
Yep.
Like from the start, you've had the things of, you know, just the standard negative comments.
Definitely.
But I've just noticed they've started to turn to more
A bit more personal.
you know, rather than just the comment you see of, oh, your videos suck or you're
Yep.
boring or whatever.
Yep. Which is, yeah.
To sort of more personally attacking
Yourself.
me,
Yeah.
which is always hard. Well, most of the time you don't care, but it's just kind of frustrating when it's hard because you can't really defend yourself
No.
much. But then
you're fighting an endless battle on that social media side of things.
Yeah, but just when they're saying it, and then you'll see other people latch onto it.
Yep.
Like someone will say something, then everyone else, oh yeah, like
Yeah, it's a bit shit.
that must be right.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, it's just lies or assumptions
Definitely.
people have made. It's not actually.
But no one probably like messages you or asks or sends you a message and be like, hey, I read this. Is that right?
Yeah.
Like they just on that train and it just get.
Well,
goes
people
way out
just
of
take
proportion.
one bit of information they want from a
And they run
video
with it.
and then just
Yep.
turn that into some
Yep.
crazy story.
Yeah, they haven't like you were saying before. They haven't taken the actual message. They've just gone. He said that.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then they're
that's
off.
it. They've like turned off the rest of the video.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
which
yeah, like I
sucks.
find it doesn't most of the time it's just laughable. It
Yeah.
doesn't worry me. It's more just when
you just can't believe it.
yeah, it's more just when people get a bit personal and then start to like spread things about you that aren't
Yep.
true, and then you see that message latching onto other people.
Yeah,
and you
that'd
sort
be
of want to defend
frustrating.
yourself and stick up for yourself a bit because it's not true. But it's just.
But at the same
it's
time,
not
you don't
really
want
battle.
to. You don't want to add fuel to that.
Well, it's just not really
fire.
a battle you can win. You're just
No.
gonna have to accept it. So it's just all those little mental challenges you have to overcome.
Yep. Which is which, at the end of the day, I think would make you a better person for not engaging in
Yeah.
the crap anyway.
Yeah, and like I'd never go and just abuse them back or go on any
Yep.
stupid rants, but
Yep.
you do want to say, hey, this is actually what was said and what was meant.
That's right.
But you spend
But
too much, you waste too much time doing it,
Exactly.
and then you say it, and
The
then
energy it
they
takes.
still don't even
That's right.
doesn't get anywhere. So there's no point.
There's always a but, and
Yeah.
then
Then they're just gone off again.
that's right. It's just
So
a battle you can't win.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. But yeah, it is.
Mm.
It's majority of the time it doesn't affect me, but there's been times where it has. Or if you're struggling with something in your personal life, and then
Yeah.
there's people piling crap on top
Yep.
of you as well,
Yep.
then it can have more of an impact.
Yep.
And I think I've found, like it's easy for people. It's easy for people to sort of dismiss it and say, oh, haters gonna be haters, and you
Yeah.
just got to deal with it.
But still,
But then when you're in the position and
It's different.
It can be hard at times.
definitely.
But yeah, I've never thought like I'm going to give up, or it's they're just people you don't know. It doesn't
Exactly.
really matter.
Yep. 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah.
It's just yeah. I could understand how frustrating it could be.
Yeah.
The best thing to do is to just keep doing what you're doing and
And
try
another,
not to pay attention to that negative energy.
another thing is that is hard is it's hard to find the balance between staying connected with your audience but distancing that very small bit of negativity.
Yeah.
That like to make themselves heard, because you can just say all the stuff at, I'm not
Yep.
going to read my YouTube comments, or I'm not going to go on Facebook.
Then you're missing out on all the
You're
people
missing
that
out on all
are
the-
saying that
yeah.
that was a mad
you're
video or
missing out on
this
that-
was good.
Missing
or,
out on all the positivity, and you're missing out on engaging
right.
on actual good feedback
That's
and
right. Yep.
things people are saying.
you
So
gotta try and just
you got to be able to be right in that zone and arena with everyone.
Yep.
But then, so you got to care about what people are saying and talk to people and engage
Yep.
and
but
that.
not let it be that.
But then you got
driving
to
force.
understand there's that negativity in there too.
That's right.
Because it'd be very
It's always
easy.
going to be there.
Yeah, it'd be very easy to say, oh, well, I'm not going to go on Facebook anymore. I'm not going to go on Instagram
that's
anymore.
right.
But
Like I said, the
Well,
good things that you miss from that
Yeah.
are going to be way more than the shit that's there.
yeah.
Yep.
So I think that's where it's hard. I know. See, like without saying names, but I know people say about certain content creators how they're very arrogant or
Yep.
up themselves now.
I've heard that so many people, and I'm like, I've met that guy. Like,
Yeah.
he's cool as.
And I
Just
think
chill.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just making assumptions, and I think it's also it's that balance that can be hard because
Yep.
you just hear so much crap
Yep.
being on in
Social
the
media.
public eye and that, there's a part of you just starts to block it out and have to not care what people say.
That's right.
But then people take that as you being arrogant and stuff.
You're not wanting to talk back
yeah,
to
not
people.
wanting to talk and not
Yep.
caring and stuff
Yep.
like that. It's just so hard to find that balance.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because those same people that say that like they're hard to talk to or they're arrogant or anything like that are probably the people that talk shit on a post and
Yeah.
then you don't engage with them, so they're like, oh, he's a fucking idiot. He didn't respond back to me when
Yeah.
I called him this or
Yeah.
something. So
And you just only got
it's
so
just an
much.
uphill battle.
You've only got so much time to
Yep.
respond and
That's
get
right.
back to people as well. Like
Yep.
eventually you just can't get back to everyone.
Exactly right. That's why I appreciate all the messaging and all the back and forth we had leading up to this, because I know you're busy. I don't think I definitely didn't try to rush you with anything.
No, for
I
sure.
send you a message and then I'd just leave you, whether it was
Yeah.
the next afternoon or the next day or a couple of days, whatever. I'm just
Yeah.
like, he'll message me back whenever he messages me back. So
Yeah, for
yeah, it's
sure.
cool.
Yeah,
But a lot of people don't have that same attitude.
yeah,
An hour goes past and then they send you another message. Don't you want to talk to me? Why don't you want to get back to me?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think people, I don't know. Yeah, people just think you're sitting there. And
People just want everything now.
yeah,
They
well,
want
and
that
they
response
want
now.
they want all the content every week and the multiple videos and everything. But then they also
And they want to have
you
a
to be on
conversation with you.
demand all the time. You can't do everything.
It's just a bit impossible at sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into number 3. Question number 3.
Yep.
So this one is about YouTube and how you made the transition to YouTube with your Patreon and any other kind of programs you have going on as well.
Yeah.
So how has that impacted your life? And then, like, what are some lessons you've learned along the way from making that transition from the teaching you were doing into essentially being a full-time content creator?
Yeah. So do you mean the transition from doing it as a hobby to doing it as a full-time thing?
Yeah, so is there like any like extra like impact on your life? Does it, so you have to now, obviously you're not planning your trips to go, but not having that, I guess, safe, secure income from having an actual job when you're doing your teaching and stuff,
Yeah.
has that made much of a impact on your life? Like mentally, I guess. Is there any extra pressure on yourself to get the things done that you want to do to keep that income coming in and those views happening on those videos?
Yeah. I found that when I first made the call to do it full time, I started feeling anxious.
Yep.
I'd wake up feeling anxious.
Okay.
Just because there's that, that you're relying on that. And also, when it goes from a hobby to more full time and, you're running it as a business or whatever you want to call it, like it's your job.
Yep.
There's a lot more things that need to happen behind the scenes.
Mhm.
Because it very quickly went from like a hobby and a few dollars here and there and a
Yep.
couple of things to like a lot going on and where I
Yep.
could do it full time.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden you realize so
lot.
many different things you need to organize and get up and running.
Yep.
But yeah, I found for the first 6 weeks, so I was feeling, probably about 6 weeks, I was feeling anxious about it most days. And then I've started to feel better about it the last few weeks as everything has got up and running properly.
Yep.
Now it's more
It's all
smooth.
running a bit smoother.
Yeah, running a bit smoother. And yeah, there's that little bit of extra added pressure. But you got the more time now to do it as well. So as long as you keep, you
just keep consistent
yeah,
with
you just keep doing it.
Yep.
Then, and it's like any business, there's always that element of risk of it could,
it. Could work, it could not work.
yeah, could work, could not work,
Yep.
but you just have to keep going with it and try not, if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. You try something else. Not like
Yeah, that's right.
world's not going to end if it doesn't work out.
Exactly.
Kind of thing.
But I find a lot of people don't take that risk. So I wanted to actually, sorry, I'm going to make this about me for a second.
Yeah.
I wanted to reach out to you for quite a while. And
Yeah.
then as soon as I seen you put up the post that you made, that you kind of made that transition and you're going to pursue it as a full-time instead of the hobby,
Yeah.
I was just like, now I really want to kind of get in contact with you and
Yeah.
have you on the podcast, because this is exactly what the podcast is about. Like,
Yeah.
exactly what you've done. It's a hobby, it's a passion. You've now turned it into an income where you can support yourself
Yeah.
and you get to have those amazing experiences. You get to go out and have those adventures, and that's like my definition of essentially living the dream. A lot of people say it, but a lot of the people I hear say it have that 9 to 5, and they say it a bit jokingly, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, just living the dream. I'm like, I really wish that you were living your dream, you know.
Yeah.
So it's great. Like, it's great to see that there's still so many people out there, such as yourself, like making that transition. Like,
Yeah.
it is hard. It's not easy,
Yeah.
but you're making it work.
Yeah, like it's harder than school teaching.
Yep.
And it's more work than school teaching, but then you
The reward from it.
you enjoy doing it more.
Definitely.
It's a lot of life experiences. There's
Yep.
a lot of learning, and
Yep.
it's very rewarding building it yourself and turning it, you know,
Definitely.
sort of turning it more to run as a business type. I don't know. It's always weird. It's a little bit weird to use the word business because it
Yep.
just started as a hobby and you're doing it because you love doing it.
Yep.
But you still,
As soon as you add that name, it feel like a
yeah.
bit
If
more
you want to
pressure.
if you want to do it this way and do it full time,
Mhm.
then you just have to treat it as a business
Definitely.
in some ways, and you have to get all those
All
things
those-
up and running, so you get your incomes coming in, and you
Yep.
can pay all your bills and
Yep.
pay different aspects, and you know you have to set it up like any business with your separate bank account, and you're running your tax programs, you
That's
got an
right.
accountant, and
Yep.
all those different things. So you have to treat it like that as a way. But I found that sort of starting it, the business side of things, and getting it successfully up and running has been very rewarding.
Mhm.
And a lot of experience in that, compared to if I had just stuck with school teaching, which school teaching's good.
Yep.
Nothing against, and I still like doing it, but it was just a different aspect of life that I was able. You know, I did school
It's just that
teaching
next
for
step.
7 years, and
Yep.
now I was able to try something different.
Yeah, it's cool. It's great that you get to live that life where you can have fun and you get to benefit from
Yeah,
that creation,
yeah,
making all your content.
yeah. That's where you just got to make sure you keep finding that balance between having it fun and enjoyable.
That's right. You're not
And-
waking up and then it's like just another job.
Yeah, not letting it
Yep.
consume you, and that's
Yep.
where you got to be careful of those mental things where, like with the, you know, like any business, the negativity side of things.
That's right.
Unless you don't end up hating it.
You got to keep that balance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
which is always a fine line.
yeah,
Trying to make sure you're on that edge where you can deal with both sides of the sword.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's great. It's yeah, as I was saying, it's one of the big reasons that I reached out to you, because I was like, this is like what it's all about.
yeah,
Like, I wish even a lot of people that I know, like, I wish they would take that step, you know. So it's good.
I think it was good. It was lucky for me that I was able to build it and have it sort of reasonably successfully running.
Whilst it was still a hobby for you.
Yeah,
Yep.
before I had, for example, I've had a mate who's just opened up a shop in town.
Okay.
But he had to put, you know, say 20 grand of savings into it.
Yeah, get everything set
and
up.
then you're just opening up a shop and hoping you get customers and business and
Yep.
hoping it works. You put a lot of money into it. Whereas mine was a slow build up
That's right.
and it was already sort of successfully running.
Yep.
And I didn't have to then put a heap of money into it,
That's
or
right.
a heap of, like, you know, I'd already sort of worked a lot of it out.
Yep.
Then it's just about continuing what you're doing.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's
You
not.
just have to add all those business elements into the program you already have.
Yeah, it's not like some business where you need to just put all your money and
Yeah, from the ground up, and then
from the ground up, put money
hope
into
it
it and
works.
time, and you don't even know
if
how
work
it's going
out.
to be received at all.
That's right.
Whereas
That's right.
I sort of, at least in mine,
Yep.
I'd spend a lot of the money on, you know, things like editing and camera equipment
Yep.
and all that over time.
What are you doing for your editing? Use Final Cut, is it?
Yeah,
Use
Final Cut Pro. Yeah, and I've just downloaded Lightroom to
Okay.
start doing properly
All your
photos
pictures,
as
all your
well.
editing and
yeah,
stuff.
just because I need more professionally edited photos now.
Yep.
That I can sort of pass on to companies and sponsorships and things like
Yep.
that.
Just to have that image, have everything, just
Yeah.
the quality, have the quality where it needs to be.
Yeah, that's just all those different things you need to get up and running.
Yep.
Once you're actually doing it.
Once you make that step and
Yeah.
you're moving up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So you don't have any other like things that you do besides YouTube? Because I know you do the YouTube the Patreon.
Yeah.
They're kind of the main sources that you have
Yeah.
keeping you going at the minute.
Yeah, like the main sources of income.
Mhm.
Yeah, so just got the Patreon.
And the merch too, sorry.
Yeah.
You got all the hoodies and shirts and stuff now.
Yeah,
That's going good for you.
Yeah, so I got the website, which is, you don't get a heap off that, but you get a few sales a week, so helps a little
It's enough
bit.
to keep that going.
Yeah, help enough to keep that going and pay for all the bills on that side of things and a little bit extra for yourself.
And you found that whole process okay?
Yeah, well, it was like anything. I had no idea what I was doing.
You have to start from scratch and
But
learn.
I had a couple of people help me just, of what I need to do and stuff like that.
Yep.
But yeah, building a website sort of myself, I guess, I had people talk me through a few things and stuff like that. But
just to make that process easier.
But yeah, it's not like I went out and paid someone thousands of dollars to make one for me. I sort of did it myself.
I'd rather make it myself.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, getting all those things up and running. But yeah, you get the ad revenue come from YouTube.
Yep.
From your ads, you get the Patreon money. You get a bit of website money.
Yep. And that varies for you. That the ad income that varies for you depending on
how many views you're getting.
Yeah.
So like I roughly
does the cost of each view from that vary depending on the video?
Yeah,
or depending
it does.
on what the ad is?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of things. It depends what country the ad's being watched in.
Okay.
Depends how many ads you have on. You see, you can nominate how many ads have on your videos.
Yeah. Okay.
So if it's a longer video, then I'll add an extra ad or two.
Yep.
Type thing.
Yep.
Depends on whether people are skipping the ads or whether they're clicking on the links.
If they're watching the entire ad as well, does that play a part in it?
Yeah, if it gets skipped straight away, you don't make any money from it.
Yep.
So I have to watch like 80% of the ad for it to count.
See, that's one thing that I actually do on a lot of channels that I do watch on YouTube is I'll just let it play.
Yeah.
It's like 30. What's 30 seconds? You know.
Yeah.
Sometimes the ads. Well, a lot of when I listen to some music and stuff on YouTube, you'll get like 2 ads that you can't skip, and they're like a minute and a half long or something each. Yeah. And then I'll just leave it there and just let it play. Yeah. And then when I can hear someone talking or the music start, I'll pick it back up and keep watching.
Yeah.
To try for that, to try and that's how you're making.
Because that's the main
income.
source of income, sort of thing.
That's right.
But yeah, it does change quite a lot, and that's one of the things. It's the same with any business. Any business, I guess. Just because you don't know how many views you're going to get, and you don't know how much those views are going to pay, and
yeah, that's right.
So it fluctuates each week. But yeah, same as a shop. You don't know how many sales you're going to get through that shop, or as a builder, you don't know how many jobs you're going to do that week.
That's right.
There's always different things. It's paying roughly, it always changes, but you roughly expect around an average of $10 per 1,000 views.
Okay.
So
that's not too bad.
So then, yeah, the more if you're putting out 2 videos a week,
that increases.
Well, you're increasing your income.
That's right.
And you're increasing your audience reach and.
That's right.
All those different things. And
then the more people that obviously watch them, click through, that affects the final outcome as well.
Yeah, and I found them because I try and do a trip video on a Sunday and then another topic during the week, and I find that the during the week topics are often going better than the trip videos.
Yeah, wow.
Trip videos are what I started, but a lot of the generally most
people
of all
want
the
information.
Other,
they
people want information rather than entertainment.
Yeah, yep.
So
that's right.
That's why I try and put out heaps of them too.
Yeah. Try and let people know how it works from your point of view. Obviously, some people don't like that, but
even just personal experience stories it's sort of really good too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just to help people understand what it is, what the experience is like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found I've purchased a few things from similar videos, just thinking oh well, they had a really good experience with that. That must be okay then. You know, I've heard I've read 10 bad reviews online, but you watch a video like someone like yourself doing a review on it, and you're just like, wow, that's actually not a bad thing at all. Yeah. It's easy to read that one bad review on Google or on a website, but not actually have any context to what the product is. Just like this is shit because of this reason.
Yeah.
And then you see a video where you actually explain it, and it's just like, oh well, I can understand why 10 people said that they didn't enjoyed that part of it or that aspect. It's but in the grand scheme of things, it's like a minute detail of the whole experience.
Yeah, and it's the same of anything with the negativity. If you get 1,000 people buy a product, the 10 people that have a negative
It's going to be
opinion
the
with it
one
will be the
little
ones
thing.
that'll go plus to that everywhere they
Definitely.
can. Whereas the 990 positive
They're
things,
just happy to enjoy
they're just
it.
happy to enjoy it and forget
Definitely.
about it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let's jump into question number 4, Tyler.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is a bit more personal, I guess. So, what's it like to share these experiences with your father
Yep.
and with your son as well? Because that's crazy to have like the 3 generations of you like together
Yeah.
out having those experiences, and also while you're out filming, like, do you find yourself like not filming certain parts or not wanting to film certain parts so you can just spend that time together and like have that experience, like just being on a trip away?
Yeah. Yeah, like it's super cool. I think that I know that Dad probably appreciates it more than me just because he's older. I feel like you appreciate those sorts of things the older you get.
Yep.
Whereas I'm maybe still a bit younger and I'll just sort of like take it as it comes type thing.
Yep.
You're not actually thinking about it.
It's not like right at the front of your mind.
It's not like a deep thought
Thought.
process you're having.
Yep.
But yeah, it is super cool. And yeah, I found even just my general nature is very on the go and always got to be doing something. And I think that was what worked with filming these videos, because if you someone who wants to sit around and relax,
It's not really going to work.
it's
that
not
great
going to work
you.
for you because you go on like a maniac a lot of the time.
That's right. It's non-stop.
So my personality was kind of like that, and then also adding in the want of wanting to film like heaps and film heaps of tracks and things we're doing and that. But I've sort of tried to learn the last little while when we're on the trips to just stop and enjoy places and relax. And say if we pull up at a nice spot, whatever it be, a river, then I might film say 10 minutes worth.
Yep.
But then there's a couple of hours that we spent there just relaxing
If
and
you're there having a
and
swim or something, that's
enjoying it that you didn't film.
Yep.
So I try and do more of that sort of
right. You
stuff.
are actually enjoying the
yeah,
time
just
that you're
enjoy
there.
the time. Like with Kai and I will sit like around and
That's cool.
talk or
Yep.
play a few games of
Awesome.
card games or board games, or rather than just being
You're not just
like,
filming and then you're gone again.
then gone again.
That's right.
Like quick, have lunch, have a swim, film it, go.
Yep.
But that wasn't just because I was doing that because of filming. That was also just my on the go personality.
Yeah. Yep.
So it was 2 things going on there. But yeah, I've tried to stop and
And enjoy it more.
enjoy it more.
Because I do see in some of your videos now, especially the ones you're putting up now,
Yeah.
the parts of the series you're putting up now,
Yeah.
where you pull up and you're at a river or something, like, and you go down and you go for a swim. Like,
Yeah.
I know you don't really show too much of that on that video, but you can see where you're down in the water for however long, and then you go to the next scene. But sitting on the lounge watching, it's like I can tell that you were probably there for an hour. Like, you haven't just walked out of the water and disappeared.
Yeah.
Like you're actually there enjoying the time.
Yeah, which I always did, but just try and enjoy it more now. So, maybe, for example, you'd spend half an hour at a river spot, whereas now I'd make to spend an hour or 2 there type
Definitely.
thing.
Yep.
We'll take it more slow. We won't rush off at camp in the morning. We may...
Get up, have breakfast. And
it always changes on the day and what's happening, but you'll try relax
depending
at
on
camp.
the weather as well.
Yeah, relax at camp, have a 2 or 3 hours driving or doing stuff. Then we always try and spend a couple of hours relaxing around that lunchtime, and then try and get to camp go do a bit more, then get to camp at 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yep.
Rather than just
You're actually enjoying the process of the day. You're not just running around like a madman filming all day, and then you pull up at camp and you just rushing around all the time.
So try and just slow down, enjoy it as much as we can.
Which is not easy.
Yeah.
Some of the videos I've made, it's like you're saying, like it's non-stop.
Yeah.
I'm running around trying to film stuff, got the drone up, doing this, that, the other, and even my wife's like, can you just come and sit down for half an hour and have something to eat, please?
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like, all right. And like, if she's telling me I need to sit down, I need to go and sit down for a little bit.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Same thing. I know my partner said the same thing to me when I filmed a couple of our weekends away. She's like, you just like
stop and just stop and relax for a little bit.
You're just like a maniac.
Yep. Yeah, wow. That's cool though. I really do like seeing the videos with the 3 of you guys. It's awesome.
Yeah. And obviously, like, there's that little bit of your filming and focusing on that, but also like I love doing it as well.
Yep.
Like gives me joy.
Yep.
Creating content. It's not just I'm doing it because I have to make
You're
a
not just
video.
doing it to make.
Like that
make
makes
it a
my
job.
trip more exciting.
That's right.
Making that content as well.
Yep.
You just got to find that balance between not spending your whole day making content
That's right.
and also just relaxing and enjoying the trip
Yep.
too.
Definitely.
But yeah,
But then even then when you're sitting down relaxing, you're still thinking of where can I film this?
Yeah.
How can I do that?
Yeah.
Like it still doesn't stop.
yeah.
Yeah.
And even though there's a little bit of aspect of our trips doing that, the good thing is now we have more time for
Yeah.
doing trips.
That's right.
So we get to go do it more as well.
You don't have a time limit. Like I got to be back at home tomorrow because I got to go to work the next day or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Which I do find that challenging. Like even today, we come up here Friday night. We
Yeah.
didn't get up here till midnight Friday night.
Yeah.
We were out with family all day yesterday,
Yeah.
and then we're here today. As soon as we're done here, I think we'll go back. We'll have lunch in Port or something, and then
Yeah.
we're gone.
Off
It's like
again.
5 hours to
Yeah.
go home.
And then you got to get up and go to work in the morning.
Well, not even that. We've got to do like wash work clothes, go food
Yeah.
shopping. Like it just doesn't
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm on the process. Like I was talking to you before, I'm doing a podcast every weekend. So that is just going to transition into a point where the goal for me is hopefully I can get a shop where I can have a studio.
Yeah.
So then it might make it a bit harder for guests to come. So that will just have to be scheduled more appropriately around people and their schedules.
Yeah.
So if they're passing through, it'll be mad. Like, stop in for an hour, we'll have a chat, and then you can keep going. You know. So,
Yeah.
but to have that space where
Yeah.
you can come and you can sit down and relax and do it actually in a studio. So that's the goal for that. But in time, we'll get there.
Yeah.
But to get there, these are the things that we need to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I found with me in the end, trying to balance, like, because it just, as you do it more, as like my channel, my content just became more and more time consuming
Mhm.
as it went on. You know, it
Yep.
started from what used to be 5 hours a week, maybe 10 back
Yep.
in the original stages to
It's like 50.
to 50 hours a week,
Yep.
and then you're still trying to go to school teaching a
That's
few
right.
days a week,
That's right.
and it was just madness.
Yep.
So that's why I had to make the decision: do I cut back on content, or do I cut
Or do
back?
you pursue making
Yeah,
full-time content?
yeah,
I think you made the good choice.
yeah, yeah,
Definitely think you made the good choice.
yeah. So I don't know, like, yeah,
It does
Yeah.
get hard and time consuming.
you just got to make that decision.
That's the hardest part. I've been contemplating, because I drive a truck. I'm in the truck for anywhere from 10 to 12 hours a day. So to then come home and spend even 3 or 4 hours editing, and then by the time you put dinner into that, getting ready for work the next day, it's like 10, 11 o'clock at night. Got to get up at 4 o'clock to go to work again. Like
Yeah.
it just gets hard sometimes.
Yeah.
But then I might not do anything. Say I have a late day on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, I might not get home till 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm not even going to get on the computer tonight.
Mm.
Like, I'm just going to burn myself out for tomorrow. And then Thursday afternoon will come around, and then I'll be like, I should have got on the computer last night, because now I've got like an extra 2 or 3 hours
Yeah.
to try and catch up to
Yeah.
where I was.
Yeah.
So do you have any issues, like, not issues, I shouldn't say issues. Do you have any run-ins with yourself in that way, where some days you kind of wish you got more done, or you wanted to get more done and you didn't?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm sort of trying to learn,
Get a good structure in
yeah,
place.
to get it done during the day and then stop.
Yep.
Because I don't know, like, you'll find that, say, when you're working in the morning, you think, oh, I still got the whole day, and then you'll
The
sort
day
of
goes quick.
you get distracted doing other little bits and pieces, and then you get to the afternoon, and then you think, oh, I actually still got a
You've got a lot to do.
fair bit I need to get to.
Yep.
And then I gotta go pick up Kai from school and hang with him for a bit and do dinner and all that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
And so then you're still
More
doing
time.
work, for 2 or 3 hours at night when you could have probably got it done during the day.
Yep. And enjoyed that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and sometimes
It's a balancing act.
you just can't help it. Like any job you're doing, I guess there's some days where I'm just going from morning till 10 or 11 at night.
And you don't
You
stop.
just got things you got to get done.
Yep.
Especially when you're putting out a video or two a week. there's some
There's
week.
a lot of work in that.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to get it done.
That's right.
So you just end up with big days.
Mhm.
Not really much you can do about that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that. Yeah, it's hard. Trying to do the podcast now. The audio editing is not that difficult because
Yeah.
it's just the raw audio. I try not to change that or filter that too much at all.
Yeah.
So if I really, really wanted to, I could leave here today and I could have it on the Spotify and all that in like this afternoon.
Yeah.
Like, no problems at all. But that won't happen until midweek. I'll get that stuff done.
Yeah.
But then if we've been camping, I haven't filmed much this weekend actually. I think I've got a couple of things on the GoPro from driving up here and just going through what we're doing. But the time to do that and edit that into even like a 5 to 10 minute video takes away hours from editing the footage from this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes I might not put out anything from camping or driving around or the clothing side of things like for weeks
Yeah.
or months because I'm just focusing on the podcast. But then it comes to a point where you got to kind of put in order the way things need to be done.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll do a couple of hours of this, I'll do a couple of hours of that, I'll do a couple of hours of that, and then you haven't really got much done at all.
Yeah.
You've just got a little piece of everything done.
Yeah.
So yeah, so now the time that I spend, I'm like, actually, I just need to do this one thing and get as much of that done as possible.
Yeah.
Now, especially in the last couple of months doing the podcast consistently, that's where I've been noticing the growth because I'm taking the actual time to make sure those specific things get done.
The consistency definitely seems to be the most important thing
Definitely.
with any of this sort of stuff. Like,
Yep.
especially if YouTube, if you're putting out minimum one video a week consistently, that's the biggest thing. Because I started putting out minimum one video a week back in February last year, 2020.
Yep.
And then it was a year of putting out a video every week.
Wow.
That
That's kind of pushed you
saw
up.
that continued growth that got me to that point.
Yep.
Yeah, so being consistent's a big one.
The consistency is really what helps.
Yeah.
Because before that, I was just not sporadic, but it'd just be a random video here, and then it might be a month, 3 weeks, a month, 6 weeks, another random video here.
Yeah.
But yeah, since being consistent with it and doing them weekly, it's
I think
it's just skyrocketed.
that's where I've seen a lot of, not a lot, but I've seen other sort of four-wheel drive channels and that drop off when they're we're all at a similar phase together.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw like a couple sort of drop off, and it wasn't that my content was better or anything.
Is that
like,
consistency?
just that consistency. Like
It's other commitments.
other commitments,
Yep.
and I guess I had a life going where you put in the work to make sure it happens, but being casual school teaching, like I didn't have to be at work every single day.
Yep.
So I had that bit of time
You
I
had
needed
that time to get it done.
And yeah, that's where I was able to put out that consistent content and keep it building, where others sort of dropped away a bit.
Yep.
Just just wasn't consistent.
Just the consistency, that's
Yeah.
right. And then it comes down to how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
Like how much, like it's hard. Well, it's hard to say everyone has the same 24 hours because everyone's 24 hours is different. But if you're going to make time like you were doing, you're going to make the time to make the videos and do those regular uploads,
Yeah.
then the reward is currently the way you're going. So
Yeah.
that's what it takes. You got to put that work in and be consistent with it.
And I think with me, like once I start something, I have to keep doing it.
Yes.
For example, if I say I'm going to put out a video a week, and this is, I don't know, this is can also be a bad thing, but if I say I'm going to put out a video a week, like it has to get done.
Yep.
And whereas some people maybe not as worried,
Mm-hmm.
which maybe that's a good thing. They're not
that's right.
not as stressed, but
Yep.
yeah, I know for me,
You put a lot of pressure on yourself.
Yeah, like I just know that I would not be happy with myself
If you didn't get it done.
if I didn't get it done.
Yep.
So I have to get it done.
Yep.
Type thing.
That's why, similar scenario. That's why I ended up putting up a video of the van last week from when we were up at Lithgow.
Yeah.
Because the guest I had lined up for the podcast had some other commitments come up, so we couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, I can't not put something up, you know.
Yeah.
I filmed a bunch while we were up there. It's just like, well, I've got the footage there.
Yeah.
I just put something together.
Yeah.
And like I was talking about before, that video is now like the #1 video that I've ever put on my channel.
Yeah.
Like, and it's still skyrocketing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
People for some reason love these vans.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's always hard to sort of talk about other people's personal lives. Obviously, people got different things going on, but people can, you know, normally if people want something bad enough, then they can make time for it.
Well, even just going out with like friends and stuff on the weekend. Most weeks it's just, what are you doing on the weekend? You want to go out for dinner? We'll catch up. I was like, I'd love to. I'm like, but I'm going to be at Port Macquarie.
Yeah.
Last week we were in Newcastle. Next week we'll probably be somewhere else. Like and they're like, are you ever going to like just stop? And I was just like, I'd love to. Like, honestly, I'd love to have a weekend. I didn't think he was going to do it. I was waiting for him to just open it up then. It'd be great to have a weekend where we can just sit down and just relax, like, you know, and kind of have that weekend off.
Yeah.
For now, we're done with the questions that I have written down.
Okay.
So I did get a couple on Instagram posts that I put up.
Yep.
So I might just fire away with one or two of those. I just have to get in there. So how have you enjoyed your experience on the podcast so far, Tyler?
Yeah, it's been good. So
Hasn't been too strenuous for you?
Nah. No, I
Nice
guess
and relaxed?
Yeah, you get used to...
Bit warm in the sun?
Yeah, we got the awning. You get used to sort of talking about all these sorts of topics and things and that, because you're always talking about them on your videos anyway. I found that school teaching and video making sort of helped each other a little bit.
Yep. Because you're talking all the time.
They're both talking. They're both communicating things. I
Yep.
found that if I hadn't been a school teacher, I probably wouldn't have been able to talk on the videos as well. Not that I talk that great anyway. I'm always getting my words mixed up and that, but yeah, still gave help to those skills.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It does make it that little bit easier for you.
Yeah, and I found then talking on camera and being confident on camera then helped back in the classroom.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Yeah, well, it would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't think of that.
So I think those two sort of linked in with helping each other a little bit.
Yep.
Which is good.
Yeah, well, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
They had their own aspects of like making each other a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I found they both helped build each other.
Yep. First question, Tyler. This is from Instagram, from Outliving, actually. I had Adam on the podcast a couple of episodes ago. Very good fella.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So his question for you is, now that you do YouTube full time, do you think you'll do the big lap around Australia and then make money on the road with your content?
Yeah.
Is that something that is in the realm of possibility that you would be able to do on the road and have that sustain you to a degree?
It would be good, but just not at this stage.
Yep.
Because of my son and his school commitments.
Yep.
And then also like my partner as well. She can't really leave here because of her own commitments and stuff.
Yep.
So I'd basically have to leave my son and my partner behind, which is the two.
Definitely something you don't want to
Well,
do.
they're the sort of people I'd take, and neither of them can come.
Yep.
There's not really anyone. Like, Dad couldn't come either. He's got too many
commitments.
Like, it's okay to sort of take a month or two off, but then to set off for a whole year.
Yeah, that's a big...
You need yourself and one other person, I
Definitely.
guess, that can do it together. And
Definitely.
I don't know. Yeah, it's not something I have planned at this stage.
Okay.
Just... And
something in the future once the...
Yeah, I guess...
when the timing's right. And
I guess...
That time can be taken.
Yeah, when it's not going... Like, it wouldn't be worth it for me to disrupt those other important aspects of my life.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to... Yeah. Exactly like you said. You don't want to disrupt that just to go around. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'd definitely eventually one day could be on the options, but what I'm happy doing what I'm doing now, and we go on so many good trips anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We're always going away and that.
Yep.
And so yeah, I'm happy with the balance I got going.
Plenty to explore around here.
Yeah.
Definitely. Another quick question, another quick one for you from Instagram as well. What is your favourite place to travel and why?
My favourite place is Coffs Harbour. There's lots of good places,
Okay.
but I've come to the conclusion after going there probably 6-7 times, maybe more, maybe 8-9 times in the last couple of years, that Coffs Harbour
Yep.
is my favourite
place.
place that I've ever been to,
Yeah, wow.
because every time we've been there, even though you think, oh, Coffs Harbour, just a smallish place, coastal town in New South Wales, there's an insane amount there to explore in all the areas around Coffs. Every time we've been there, we've been going to new places.
Yeah, wow.
There's so many beautiful creeks there, waterfalls, camp spots, tracks. There's just an incredible amount of tracks there. And then you're close to the beach, you're close to the bush.
Yep. It's kind of got everything there
It's
you
just
need.
kind of got everything right there, very close together. It's
Yeah,
only
wow.
a couple of hours from home. I just feel like you can really experience it all in Coffs Harbour.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, we still haven't been up there yet.
Yeah.
It's definitely on the cards. We don't know where or when now with everything else that we have going on, but eventually, definitely want to get up there.
It's hard with Coffs because it's not. It's a known four-wheel drive place, but it's not known for like camp spots and sites, and that's just known for hardcore tracks.
Hardcore full driving,
So if you haven't been there, it's hard to know where to go and where to start. And
You can get yourself
you
stuck
go,
real
you
quick.
search up campsites in Coffs, and then nothing comes up.
Yeah, wow.
So
You've got to kind of do that exploration. And, and
but once you
find
actually start exploring,
Yep.
there's lots. But
Yeah,
I
wow.
think it's a little bit off-putting at first for people.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know how keen I'd be doing some of those tracks up there in this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd even try that, but
And you have to be very careful at those sorts of places, because every second turn's just
yeah,
near-death experience on a
you
track.
don't know what's going to be there.
Yeah.
Wow. So you've had a few scary moments up there?
Yeah, definitely done some of the harder tracks we've done up there.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
And you haven't had too many dramas getting them up there? Getting the Navara up there?
No, the odd winch here and there.
Yep. Just to help get you through those more
Yeah.
technical bits?
Yeah, that's about it, really.
Yeah, wow.
I've never really broken anything major on the tracks and stuff like that.
You haven't had any, there hasn't been anything, like with your setup, that's limited you from getting somewhere? Like, I definitely can't see you putting, like, stupidly large tyres on that to help, but then again, getting stuck on some of those bigger, like, kind of rock steps and stuff is what you would use the winch to pull yourself up anyway.
Yeah, like that's about as capable as that can be. If you put bigger tyres on, you're going to create too many other problems.
Exactly.
But yeah, I've never found it held to. Definitely ever had, say a solid axle front and rear with 35s and twin lockers.
Yep.
Then those places I had the winch up.
Yep.
Probably could have drove up.
That's right.
But
It's just a completely different setup.
yeah, but that's I'm happy with what I got.
Yeah, definitely.
You can still drive majority of things.
Yep.
It's not restricting really or anything.
Yeah, they're definitely way more capable than what people think they are.
Yeah.
Because my brother's got one, and that's what I tell him. I'm like, you can take that thing places.
Yeah.
I'm like, just here, watch a couple of videos. Like, you'll see what you can do with it.
Yeah, a lot of it comes down to experiences.
Definitely.
Experience and knowing what it can and can't.
And damage at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If you're obviously you're not doing tracks where you're going to be bouncing the doors off trees or rocks or stuff like some lunatic, but at the end of the day, I don't think you're still worried about it being damaged to a degree.
Yeah, I'm not.
Some tracks it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about like scratching and small little dents, and it's just what happens if you use the car as much as I do and taking all the tracks.
It's gonna happen.
It's just gonna happen. There's
That's
nothing
right.
you can do about it.
That's right. It's the ones I see on the you see on up and down the highway all day. That definitely probably don't want to take them off the road and get them scratched.
Yeah.
But but looking at it, it's just like the places that you can go in that if you chose to go off the black stuff and go and explore.
Yeah, it's worth it for the experiences you get.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, the amount of pinstripes on these things since I've got it now.
Yeah.
Turn into a track and it's all overgrown. It's like, well, I'm going to hear this the whole way down there, you know?
Yeah, I just sort of treat mine like a book. Once you're out the bush, and I just sort of treat mine nearly like a bulldozer sometimes.
Yep.
You're sort of not too worried about scratches and that, especially if you're on a gnarly track, and
It's gonna happen.
and there's like there's potential for major damage or
Yep.
rollovers.
Yep.
You know, the least of your concerns is smashing it into the bush a bit
Exactly.
for some few scratches.
That's why when we were at Lithgow the other week, I went through some of the big wombat holes there,
Yeah.
just to more kind of just push myself in the van,
Yeah.
because it's capable.
Yeah.
Just the last bit where I got stuck, couldn't drive out. I need new tyres, so that's definitely a letdown. Traction's definitely an issue.
Yeah,
there.
they're only like a very light all-terrain.
All-terrain, yeah.
Not even really an aggressive one or anything.
Nope. But at the same time, I've never had a problem with them. Like, never been stuck anywhere. Been on the beach a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And because it's auto, I only have to let my foot off the off the brake, and it starts rolling on the sand. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it bogging down trying to take off or anything like that. So
Yeah.
and it's heavy, so it's probably a bit over 2.5 ton
Yeah,
all day, every day.
Yeah.
Everything's the whole setup. Nothing comes out of it. Like, the only thing that stays in the garage at home is the table and chairs. When the weekend comes, throw them in, and then we go.
Yeah, well, mine's mostly left set up as well. It's just sort of food and clothes and that, really.
Yep.
But yeah, mine's about 2.8 ton, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So
Is it lighter now with the canopy on the back?
No,
It's a
about
little bit heavier.
a little bit heavier.
Okay.
And just the weight distribution's a bit different. So
Yep.
the weight distribution's a bit higher now.
Oh, well, because you got the,
But
canopy,
also
the
because I got the
rooftop.
rooftop tent up there further back, whereas before it was sitting more forward.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just
You notice that difference on the tracks, do you?
a little bit, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but you sort of adjust to it. Reason the first trip away I had in it, you could notice it, but
Yep.
then you adjust to it, and you can still sort of do
Either
the same
way.
things. It just feels a bit different.
Yeah, definitely. That's like that, like trying to drive out of that last hole. It was like, I want to say like nearly 2 foot deep,
Yeah.
and it just had chunks of old tree and stuff jammed in there to just help with that departure.
Yeah.
But because how tall this is, it was kind of leaning over in the hole,
Yeah.
and then the both right hand wheels were like just touching the dirt.
Yeah.
So we had the max tracks under it.
Yeah.
But as soon as I'd let my foot off the brake, the wheels would just start spinning and just spit the max tracks out. There's
Yeah,
just
okay.
no pressure
Yeah.
on that side of the car. And then this wheel was spinning on the tree. It was just like ice basically. So
Yeah. Yeah.
ended up conveniently getting a Navara to pull us just out of that little hole, and then I drove out the top.
Yeah.
But that was
That was the wombat holes at Lithgow.
yeah. My mate was holding the front bar, rocking. I thought he was going to roll us over because I thought the angle we were on. I thought we were about to roll over,
Yeah.
and that's what he's like. Oh, you're safe as, and just started rocking the car up and down.
Yeah.
And my wife in the passenger seat, she had a few choice words come out of her mouth when that happened.
It can be harder when you're in the car
Ooh,
to know compared to outside the car. Like in the car, you can think, "Oh, Jesus, feels really bad." But then
Yep.
outside the car,
the front right hand wheel was like 3 foot off the ground. Like,
Yeah.
it was like
yeah,
it was up in there. It was good. But I got on the back bumper just there is the only, well, not the only damage, but a little bit of damage I got from it. A little bit of scratching,
yeah,
and that's basically it. And it was like, yeah, but that hole is taller than what the van is,
yeah,
because it's 2.4 to the top of the roof cage, and the dirt wall was like a foot higher than the car one, so it's down in there.
yeah. It's been chewed out a lot.
So bad.
Yeah,
So bad. There's a few guys telling me they remember when they started full driving and going up there, it was like half a metre deep.
yeah,
It's like a bit past their rock sliders and stuff. And I was just like, yeah, well, not anymore.
yeah. It
It's
just
like,
gets more and more chewed out over time.
It's like 2.5 metres deep in the middle there. It's crazy.
Yeah,
And with all the rain up there recently too, made it a lot worse. So I was actually surprised to get as far as I did. I think everyone watching was very surprised that we got as far as we did in this thing, but
yeah. I did
was
see
good.
some of that. I can't remember where I saw it. I don't know if you put it on Instagram or
I did
whether
put a little snip on Instagram of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. I don't know how interested I am in doing that every weekend, but but if we, for whatever reason, decide to go on a trip and we have to do something to get where we want to go, it's definitely more than capable of getting us there. So,
Yeah, for sure.
and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I don't want to turn around because we can't. Obviously, I'm not going to be driving up ridiculous rock steps. It's just not what it's set up for. I'd be going and buying something else if that's what the goal becomes.
Yeah.
But for now,
Does the job.
it's got a bed in the back and we can sleep literally wherever we want if we choose to. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, that's it, Tyler.
Thank you.
We're done.
All to finish.
Thank you very much for being on the podcast.
No worries.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
It's great to learn a bit more about yourself and just, the man behind the camera, really.
Yeah.
It's great to see that you're just having fun.
Yeah.
You're just out living your life and recording it along the way.
Yep.
It's great.
Trying to learn everything as I go.
Yeah.
Yep.
But also turning that passion into a profession. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, which has been a pretty cool
Yeah.
experience.
It's great. And
Yeah.
that's I think that is what life's all about.
Yeah.
Figuring out what you like and then making it give you money, basically, essentially.
Yeah.
Helping you sustain life while you get to enjoy those things that you do.
I always found it interesting how YouTube gives people like me a platform to start off
Mhm.
making videos, whereas I had no videography skills or camera skills. I
Yep.
didn't own any equipment.
Yep.
And I was hopeless in front of the camera. So compared to, say, the TV, where you have to actually take that big jump and be somebody and be on there and all that, YouTube, you can just start as nothing and nobody, and then
As long as you want to make that happen, you progress and you learn those skills and you progress up that ladder, and and here you are today.
Yeah, I guess it showed with me that you can start from the lowest point and then turn it into something.
That's the best thing about YouTube, though. Like the playing field is level.
Yeah.
Like it's how you choose to do it
Yeah.
is what is gonna ultimately give you the outcome.
Yeah.
If you want to put in those hard yards and you want to make that happen, you'll do what it takes to be there. So
Yeah, for sure.
it's great. It's great to see another person just out there living life,
Yeah.
kicking goals and chasing dreams. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy.
And it would hurt